Ministers and State Secretaries for European Affairs met in Aarhus and Horsens on the 10th and 11th of June for the last informal ministerial meeting in Denmark during the Danish presidency of the Council of the EU. On the first day, the Danish Minister for European Affairs, Nicolai Wammen, hosted a meeting between the Presidency, the European Commission and the EU's candidate countries. The purpose of the meeting was to have a state of play on the enlargement process, but also to use the occasion to show the relevance of the candidate countries in the discussion about growth at the European level.
Well, I would like to welcome the press. We have just had an excellent meeting, the Danish presidency, Commissioner Füle, and the 5 candidate countries.
The Danish presidency here has done something extraordinary. It invited the candidate countries, invited the Commission for the discussion about both the path of the enlargement.
Afterwards, Ministers for European Affairs attended an event on green growth at the headquarters of Vestas, one of the world's largest wind energy companies. The Presidency arranged the event to focus on the potential in the green economy, underscoring that even in these difficult economic times, Europe cannot afford not giving momentum for the green agenda.
The UN has estimated that only 18 years from now, in 2030, the world will demand 50% more food, 45% more energy, and 30% more water.
To round off the day, ministers were invited for a dinner at Aros, the art museum in Aarhus. Ministers visited the art installation Rainbow Panorama at the roof of the museum, which has been designed by the critically acclaimed artist Olafur Eliasson. On the second day of the meeting, ministers went to Forum Horsens, where the presidency wanted to discuss 2 important issues: negotiations on the EU's multi-annual financial framework, the long-term budget of the EU, and new ways of creating growth in Europe. During the last 5 months, the Danish presidency has been drafting on the so-called negotiating box, the framework for an agreement that will be presented at the meeting of the European Council on the 28th and 29th of June, where the EU's heads of state and government will have a first discussion with a view to reach an agreement on the MFF by the end of 2012. Ministers also discussed possible initiatives to stimulate future growth in Europe. The wish for growth initiatives was last confirmed at the Informal summit in May, where the momentum for growth and employment was underlined. Creating growth has been a priority for the Danish presidency from the start, and the outcome of the discussion will now form the basis in the preparation for the European Council meeting on the 28th and 29th of June that will mark the end of the Danish presidency.
We have just finished our discussions on the growth package, and it is the presidency's intention that the summit at the end of June will adopt a growth package. This will finish our work on the growth agenda that has been a key priority for our presidency as part of the dual approach, where we simultaneously pursue a responsible and dynamic Europe through consolidation, structural reforms, and initiatives that can promote growth and jobs.